Yeah.
Okay. So again,
welcome.
yeah.
Just a minute.
Welcome again.
Yeah, welcome again, participants. Now, our next speaker here is none other than Dr. Nisha Pandey, who is the program director of this entire concept. Dr. Nisha Pandey is an associate professor and chairperson, social entrepreneurship cell at Vivekananda Education Society Institute of Management, Mumbai. She has received DST NM NIMT project 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18 for conducting entrepreneurship programs for 3 consecutive years. She has received funding from South Asian Network of Development and Environment Economics Summer School in Eminent and Resource Economics in Sri Lanka during 4th 10th July 2000, 4 to 10 July 2015. She has presented her research in University of Utah during April 2006, King's College at Kathmandu during September 2017, Academy of Management Chicago 2018, and 9th Social Business Conference in Bangkok 2019. Dr. Pandey has worked in various interdisciplinary research projects in several institutes of international repute like Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, Harcourt Butler Technological Institute, Kanpur. Presently, she is also principal investigator of an interdisciplinary research project in association with Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, funded by Indian Council of Social Sciences and Research. Currently, she is working in a new project, a role of women in rural transformation. She has presented and published more than 35 papers in national and international conferences, forums, and journals. She is associated with various universities and institutions in their advisory board and governing council. Dr. Nisha Pandey was conference convener of international conference Creative Entrepreneurship for Sustainable Economic Growth and Development. In February 2016, Second International Conference on Social Entrepreneur and Social Responsibilities in February 2017, sponsored by NABARD, Bank of India, and Khadi and Village, and the third International Conference on Social Entrepreneurship as Tool for Women Empowerment in October 2018. She is managing editor of Journal of Development Research, which is released by VS Institute of Management with ISSN number 2229-7561. Her areas of research interest are social entrepreneurship and sustainable development, environment economics, development economics, women empowerment through social entrepreneurship. So with these words, I welcome you all, ma'am, on this platform. Please, over to you now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pranjal, sir. You all are listening me since yesterday morning, in fact, day before yesterday. So you all are very much aware about myself. Now, since yesterday, we are talking about social enterprise management, social enterprise system. So if you observe from yesterday, yes, we have discussed about the introductory part of social entrepreneurship. We had browsed concepts or social enterprise, social entrepreneurship, and gradually we are going through the deep understanding of this subject. So yesterday and today we talked about the policy, we talked about the scaling, then we talked about the strategy. So if you observe that how we write a book from introduction to the first chapter, then the second chapter, and gradually we go deep down to understand the subject. So if in the first chapter, if we explain everything, so then anyone will be scared about, oh my God, this is the very difficult subject. So same thing we have followed in this workshop, from the very lighter mode to some deeper mode. So my subject, which is designed by the team, I should talk about social innovation. So my title of the presentation is Redefining Business Model, Possibilities and Potential of Social Enterprise, Impact of Action with the Grand Vision. So if you see each word of this presentation is defining something, redefine business model. So itself, why redefining? What to redefine and how to redefine? So see the titles, what to redefine, how to redefine, and why to redefine, what should be the purpose of redefining, whether this existing model is good for society, whether existing model requires some change, or whether existing model is not fulfilling all the existing model. So then the question of why redefining comes. And then we talk about redefining business model, possibilities and potential of social enterprise, impact of action with the grand vision. So if you take any example, what are the possibilities and potential of social enterprise which can impact with the grand vision? What should be the grand vision? Are we not working with the grand vision? Are we not working for the welfare of society? If yes, so why the question comes for grand vision? Why the question comes for possibilities and potential of social enterprise? It certainly means that there is a gap. It certainly means something more is required by the system, for the system, designed by the system, designed by the citizens. Next slide, please. So with the same objective, with the same manner, we have written a book, Building a Model of Change. Why a model of change is required? There are resources which are unused. There are potential which is unused. There is a system which is unused, which is not utilized. The capacity, the potential, the resources, the system, many things which are either unutilized or underutilized or not proper utilized, can be used in a different manner for getting better results. So yes, we need to work in this area. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to discuss the problem encountered in financial market, problem encountered in the social market, problem encountered in the labor market. We have discussed a lot about the various problems, and we know the problem in system, the problem in policy, the problem in structure, problem in economic structure. Wherever we'll talk about the problem. So as a faculty member or as a subject expert, whatever the subject you are dealing with, but as a general person, as a civil society, we know the problem. We know the problem of human being. We know the problem of psychology and the physiology, also health problems. So many problems are there. And that's why because there are the problem, countries and international organizations are working to solve the problem. That is what the Millennium Development Goal, that's what for addressing this problem, the goals has been made, the goals had been decided with the proper understanding, with the proper research, with the proper survey of not only in Indian context, not only in the local context, but for the international context. So problems are there, but should we talk only for the problem? Should we talk or discuss in a community or in the classroom only the problem? There is problem, that is problem, this is problem. If we will be problem creator or we will the problem discussion oriented, we will never get the solution. We will only talk about the problem. So हमको अपना नजरिया बदलना है. We have to change our perception. We have to change our attitude from problem seeker or problem identifier to the problem solver and problem opportunity seeker from the existing problem. What opportunity I can get from this problem to serve the society? That is all about social innovation. Now, my next question is, what innovation is innovation. You must have read, listened about so much about innovation. So what is the need of adding this word social innovation? Why social innovation? Do we need really adding this word social innovation? Well, innovation is there. Everyone is talking about innovation, that either in electronics or in technical innovation. So do we really need the word social innovation? Anyone can answer this?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, madam.
Yes.
As far as innovation, social innovations are concerned, I think the main problem of the society is inequality in different spheres of life, like literacy rate or poverty level, social inequality. These all are absolutely responsible for having social innovation in the society, by which inequality can be removed.
My question is, why we have added social innovation? Innovation is not okay.
Innovation
Innovation is
because
not solving the problem.
ma'am, all the time, as I have said, in social entrepreneurship, we are seeing as a trend prevailing that ordinary people are coming with extraordinary performances or extraordinary works. So they are seeing inequality in the society, and they are seeing problem of common people. To eradicate problem, they are here to do something that is called social innovation, by which the inequality of the society can be eradicated.
Only inequality?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Different terms. Equality in different terms.
Okay.
Suppose inequality between the genders. Take a man and class. There is inequality.
Okay.
So many different stratas are there where you can see inequality, and inequality is absolutely responsible for social innovation.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, alternative thinking is required to solve the social problems, and that's when innovation comes in being along with social innovation.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
so social entrepreneurship and social innovation now is going hand in hand, because it is as in the earlier slides by Motsa, what we have seen, it has got a dual mission. One is the economic and other is the social objective. So whether it is in any area of marketing, finance, HR, production, or technology for that matter, we bring in the social innovation to keep in mind. One is the sustainability of the business enterprises, that the economic needs are met, not only to ensure that the profitability is maintained, but also to see that the society also benefits from that. So
okay. Yeah. So we will look at these questions in entire presentation and talk. And Pranjal sir, can we go to next slide? Next slide, please. So we will play this video later. Next slide, please. So redefining, again, I will talk about redefining business model in current business environment. So, you know, microfinance is there, banking sector is there, a manufacturing sector is there. So already these are the existing sectors, healthcare, every sector is there. So why to redefine the business model when these model finance is there, but in the finance sector or banking sector, as Professor Yunus said yesterday, that they were not giving fund to these women, these poor women, because they feel that they don't have credit worthy. So if they don't have this credit and they are not credit worthy, why should they get fund? Why should they get credit? Why should they get money? So thinking about this, why they are not getting money? Is this only the credit worthiness? So what should be the new business model which can serve this kind of customer? So thinking beyond normal ways of thinking. The thinking beyond the way the profit makers think about. So when we talk about the credit worthy or they don't have credit, so you should when someone start working in this area, they should have some passion to change. They should have some emotion to work for these underprivileged, marginalized people, so that they should get the respect in the society. They should get the livelihood by their working. They should get, and they should have a confidence that yes, I can earn, I can build, I can do something. So this changing the business model require in all sector. Changing the business model, if you see the healthcare sector, can only the rich person go to the big hospital, and the poor person, they are not eligible to live in a good health, because they are poor, because they can't afford. So for that, if you think about, if you have a passion, if you have a thinking beyond normal thinking, that either you can say design thinking, or you can say shifting the orbit from one orbit to other orbit. So shifting of orbit take place when you jump from normal thinking to different kind of thinking. So one example is there for this orbit shifting, that one fellow, he started a van, medical healthcare for the poor. When someone in the village or someone in the slum, if he is sick, he can dial some number is given, 916 kind of, and these numbers are easily available, and they can call this ambulance, and this will readily available with the all aids of medical. And so for this facilities, thousands of patients are now getting cured, and the lives of many people has been really changed. So what do you think about in the example of this healthcare? Already, so I'm not talking about the theory, I'm not talking about any general thing, which you have already read everything since yesterday. So you can look at what is there in making this ambulance, which is working for the poor, for taking care of their health, when other hospitals are not taking them, or maybe the billing pattern. First, these hospitals, first they create bill, they give you a letter to give the advance, to submit the money, and then only they will admit you. And but see the difference, this mobile medical healthcare, they are working for the poor with the capacity to solve the problem. Now, what is behind this concept? Can you read the fine line behind this? What is that behind the line, the fine line? What is that? Anyone? Hello?
Ma'am, giving back to the society is more, that gives you the sense of accomplishment,
Okay.
which cannot be measured. It's more intangible.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, making other people happy is a super happiness,
Okay.
as sir has quoted here.
It means
We want-
intangible, something when, so from this example, can you bring out, see, it is not only giving back to society. It is very common words we talk about, I have to give back to society. Again, this is a selfish matter. It's not I want to give back to the society. What is my passion? How can I serve the society? They can also come to equality. They can also enjoy the life. They can also take the pleasure of being in the world. So behind this, the concept is, what is innovation here? Innovation, see, they have not innovated ambulance. They have not innovated any medical services, any surgery, or any education. What they have invented in this concept? This
the best practices.
One is best practices, and
they have made a path. They have made a path to reach common people in the society.
They have made a part of, to reach common
Part to
people.
reach common
Yes,
people.
yes. So see, look at what is social innovation. Ambulance is there, doctors are there. What they have done, they have just make a network. They have made a network of assisting the society through their innovative ways of thinking. What they have done orbit shift, which is generally we don't think. Generally we think why can't we do, or what if? So what if I could have this, if I could have this. So instead of I could have this or I could have money, in social innovation, we think about what if? What if we do not have money? What if we do not have ambulance? What if we don't pay money, we can't pay money to the hospital? What can I create with the limited resources, with the limited access of other resources, with the limited resource of energy? So any limited resource. So social innovation comes or happens when you create it with the scarcity. When you start something with what if it is not there. Professor Yunus started with a $27. So when, what if they don't have money? What if they don't have credit? What if people don't assume that credit worthy? So what can I do? I can create my own bank. I can create microfinance, Grameen Bank. So that is what if orbit shift from one status to other status, suddenly jump. So you cannot do work slowly. I will do. In this case, orbit shift is required. Can we, Pranjal sir, can you change the slide? Pranjal sir, please. Pranjal sir. Hello, Pranjal sir. Okay, anyway, I think. So getting, Pranjal sir. So I was talking about, so orbit shift. Orbit shift, what does it mean, orbit shift? Who does orbit shift? We talked about Seva, Ila Bhatt, or we talked about Selco, we talked about Sahin Mistry. So do you know Sahin Mistry, what she did? She came from out of India, and she saw that the student, the boys, the girl in the age of going to school, they are either they are begging or they are going here and there. And so she saw these in this age, what can she do? What can be possible for these boys and girls to change their life? So instead of joining any multinational company or any big organization, she started working. So she started Akanksha organization, and then she started Teach for India. And in the Teach for India, what she did, she started associating working class for part-time teaching to these students or to the slums area. And that's how she created change in the society, by involving people who are working for the part-time. She requested part-time trainers, she requested part teachers for part-time contribution of their time. She only talked about contribution of time, not contribution of money. So when she talked about contribution for time, so everyone was ready to contribute in this. Yes, why can't I work for the society? Why can't I contribute for the society, for the social well-being? When we can educate our student, we can educate our society by just giving 2 hours in a week. So the kind of thinking, she started to educate a student of slums or a student of those who are not going to school. It has made a tremendous change in the areas where students were not going to school. Literacy rate has changed, the behavior of the society has changed. So what does it mean? We, as a, not as a simple person, we think she is doing some work in the teaching area, in educating. But as a social entrepreneur teacher, or as a social entrepreneur, or as a researcher, what would be our thinking about Sahin Mistry or Ila Bhatt or the Selco, Harish Hande? They thought something differently. They thought to make change in the society by some kind of change of their thinking. So they have not done any, so generally what we think, innovation means some technical innovation. Innovation means something, some product should be there. Innovation means some new structure should be there. But yes, innovation doesn't mean that only technical innovation. Innovation doesn't mean only some product should be there. Innovation doesn't mean only some structure should be there. Innovation means many things. So that's why we are talking about social innovation. When we can change something in social structure, either it is social structure by reorganizing system, by reorganizing some team, by reorganizing some process, by reorganizing some concept, that could be a social innovation. If, for example, in a society there is a problem of water and there is a queue in the to fulfill the water bucket, and the people are fighting, and if someone makes some rules, someone makes some process, and because of that process, if the society started living together happily, that is a kind of social innovation, when you have stopped the conflict in the society. If you have collected some community and you gather some information, and then with the information, if you are serving society, that is a kind of social innovation. So anything which is reducing hindrance, anything which is making society towards equality, anything which is substantially solving the social problem, economic problem, environmental problem, will taken as a social innovation. Sir, can you change the slide? So we'll talk about Anil Gupta ji. I have invited him in a valedictory session. He is an Indian scholar in the area of grassroots innovation, and he is the founder of Honeybee Network. I met him many times, and I know, not me, in fact, entire India, those who are working in social enterprise or social work, they go and they take his suggestion. What the innovation he has done, he travel every year with the student and the farmer, and he goes to every village. Decided earlier, they decide, their team decides at which time, which village they will visit, and they visit villages and they talk to the farmers, and then they see there are many innovation locally developed, and that innovations are serving the society and solving the society. So when he goes to the villages and he takes farmer together, and then they keep on talking to the villagers. And when they found that even in a single making vegetable or cutting the vegetable or the making dough or the doing some farming has some different kind of innovation which change their structure, which change their living condition, which change their understanding of social structure. So how he decided to work in the social structure, he narrates the story of honeybee. Honeybee, what honeybee does, he suck the nectar from the flowers, and even flower doesn't know, or it doesn't affect any flower or anyone, or the flora and fauna, and this honeybee just drop the honey. So see the ecosystem and the biodiversity, how honeybee forms honey. No one is harmed and everyone is in a benefit. So similarly, then he thought, if we create something like honeybee to give to society, taking something from society, giving something to society. And that's how society can be a different place of living. With the help of few people, if other people can be, can live a better life. So that is the kind of work Professor Anil Gupta is doing, and that is social innovation. One story was there that a lady was doing farming, and when someone asked her why you are cutting the root of potatoes and sweet potato, so then she said, if you cut the many root of potato, so you will find a big and round shape of potato. And this round shaped potato is a bigger one, is a clear one, and having more nutrients. So this is not developed in the lab. It is developed by the rural people, those who are doing farming every day and observing every day. But no one is documenting this kind of innovation. No one is, I'll give you another example of how company thinks and how a normal person thinks and can innovate. So there is a problem in a company that how to check that all the detergent packet are packed properly, and when it goes to the quality check, every detergent should have the proper packing. So there are various ideas from the technical person, from the executive, from the expert, and none of these ideas were working. Uh, uh, Something was remaining in the detergents. So one very simple person doing working as a labor, what he said, sir, why can't you put one high speed fan here? So if the packaging is not very well done, automatically the paper will not be there, and we will find the properly wrapped product. So see, it's so simple suggestion, so simple suggestion where technical person are giving many suggestions, and that is not workable. So these are the simple thinking, but you need to be aware about. So next slide, please. So why need for social innovation? This is climate change, worldwide epidemic, social and cultural inequality, and why the failure of market and government. So I'm not saying the failure of market or government everywhere, but it is not always expected that government should do, not always expected that government should have come up with all solution. As a responsible citizen, or as a human being, or as a intellectual person, God has given us a mind and to think about, why can't we give a solution for the social problem? So there is a need of innovation, social innovation, of course. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. If we define in a few words that it is a novel solution to social problem that is more effective, efficient, or just than existing solution, and for which the value created primarily to society as a whole rather than private individual. So this is very clear that we should have a novel solution for a social problem, which should be more effective and efficient and just than existing solution. So already existing, if something can be possible with the apart from existing solutions. So what I have taken example of this ambulance, or the example of microfinance, or the example of Manadesi Bank, or what Chetna Gala has done, or many more examples. Next slide, please. So for the social innovation, we should forget the title. We should forget the job description or hierarchy. Creativity is not a skill set, it is a mindset. An orientation that resists habitual thinking and invite courageous exploration. To be human as to be creative. So it's not important that I should be CEO or I should be authority or I should have money, then only I can think to change the society. One of the best example is what morning sir has given is for this Muruguttam. She has created social change. She has created society where women were feeling shy for buying sanitary napkin. But he faced many problems, but still he created a different domain for existing problem. He changed the orbit. How he has changed the orbit? By fighting society, by fighting his own family, by fighting his. So he faced many problems, but he did not get back. He did not thought about that he should go back and he should not start working this in this area. So what he created with the help of other stakeholders. So as for social innovation, we can't say that that we should not take help of technology, we should not take help of society, or we should not take help of other stakeholder. Of course, there should be proper support. It is not only the mindset, but yes, if you have mindset, if you have orientation, you will find the solution. So the society which he worked about, now they are recognizing him. Now the government has recognized him. And now he is serving society by his own innovation. And that was social innovation. So if we again bifurcate this social innovation, that was cost effective, that was meant for the poor, that was meant for the social problem, the physical problem, which women were suffering, which they were shy of because of the social structure, because of the culture of the society. But what he did, he tried to change the culture. He tried to overcome this socially designed problem. So these are the things, how to penetrate this socially or culturally designed problem. That is the kind of social innovation he did. Next slide, please. That is, you see, the Global Hand Washing Day. It started a few years back. So when you don't have money or you don't have a wash basin, and if you say in an urban area, or if you say our kids go and wash your hands, so they will say, yes, I will go and I want some Lifebuoy hand wash, and then only I go, and you should have a towel there. So that is the concept of a hand wash. But if we look at, if we want to achieve the target, what can we do? So this is the example of, very simple example in the village. School kids, they started making this hand wash prototype. They took this bottle and you can see what they did. And this was a successful in many villages by providing this. And this project got prize. Because this is a very simple used waste material, and then a habit of hand washing was created with the simple method. So see, it's a solution for the social problem, because they don't wash their hand before eating. They don't have habit to wash their hand, and because they don't have, or maybe their parents, they are not teaching, or maybe they have a scarcity of water, or maybe they have, so there are many reasons, cultural issues, or maybe they never seen their parents to wash their hands. So whatever is that, but this kind of teaching started, and they started hand washing. So yeah, next. So Kailash Satyarthi is a Nobel Prize winner 2014. He worked a lot in the saving life of children's. He worked for children's. He worked for this bonded labor. So he said, you don't have to choose between doing business and doing good. You should not bifurcate that, yes, I am doing business, I am doing for profit, I cannot do good. You can do both. So I'll take another example. Next slide, please. So Pranjal sir, I think you just make me host. I can do that. You know, there are a number of example, those who are doing social innovation, those who are doing purposefully, they're doing purposeful business. They are doing profit with goodness. They are doing, they're fulfilling mission. So when your mission become the objective of your life, when your mission become the purpose of your life, then you start thinking creatively. Then you start thinking for social development. So what Anshu Gupta he has done, and I think many of you must be aware about what Anshu Gupta has done. So many things what I will talk about, something when you think something, what is needless pain? What is the pain which I don't need, or which or we can, someone can reduce that pain. The pain which is the bodily pain which can go by the medicine and which is created by some physiological change. Sometimes it is not possible to reduce that, but some needless pain, some needless unnecessary problem which can be solved. Because of that, some social innovation happened. So what Anshu Gupta has seen, that the people are shivering or dying because of not having clothes in winter season, in the area where too much of cold is there. So that is a needless pain. It can be solved by shifting of resource from one place to other place. And what he thought, that can we collect old clothes from the well-to-do society? Can we collect and can we distribute? This is, although this looks very simple, we should collect the clothes and we should distribute the clothes. It comes in our mind, but we never thought of, can it be a business model? Can it be a change society? Can it be a really rewarding structure? Can it be a rewarding business model? So he saw that he has around 65 pairs extra clothes in his wardrobe, and he has not used since last 1 year. And that motivated him to start doing this business. First he started giving free clothes. Then he said, no, it's not free. I should give meaning to the society. They should have a meaning and purpose. And that's how he started giving, and they are restructuring, reforming carpet and various usable dresses or any product from that used clothes. And now that become Goonj is known everywhere in all part of world. So, and Anshu Gupta is known everywhere and Magsaysay award winner. Chetna Gala Sinha, what she has done, she has same story which Professor Yunus has told us yesterday, that women, banks say that women are not credit worthy. They were not getting money from the bank because they do not want to give money 10 rupees or 15 rupees or 100 rupees. They are not credit worthy. So she started, story is very long, but she started Manadesi Bank, where the women are manager, where the women are bankers, where women are, so borrower and the giver both are women. And then she started teaching and she started doing work. And what she has done now, she started one, can you give me this water? So she started one MBA school which teaches women every week, and this is a movable business school where these women goes to school and understand the day-to-day management, day-to-day business management, day-to-day house management, day-to-day their whatever they're doing. So this they are doing a lot in this area. This is Chetna Gala Sinha, and I met her in Bangalore. I met Professor Yunus in Thailand, and he is Professor Chaube. He is a Ashoka Fellow, and you know Ashoka Fellow. Ashoka has started working long back, and Ashoka is a has done pioneer work in social enterprise. I think you all must be aware about Ashoka Fellow. So Professor Santosh Chaubey is Ashoka Fellow, and he is done pioneer work in the creating literacy in the computer field. So literacy in computer field, creating literacy in learning computer in Hindi. So can you see what is the social innovation here? We think that yes, computer can be learned only in English. So mass population, they were not able to understand computer in Hindi. So then he just changed the trend, and then he educated mass in Hindi, computer language and computer literacy. So what he did, so now he is a chancellor of 4-5 university. They created a change in the society that is just an orbit shift from one orbit to other orbit. He is, you can read about him. He is Dr. Anil Raghuvanshi. Anil Rajvanshi. So Anil Rajvanshi, he studied outside India. And when he came back to India, he went to so many villages, and then he found the villagers are having problem in moving from one place to other place, and they don't have a. I'm talking about long back, 30 years back. He came back, and then he started working for the for electric chulha, electric rickshaw, and all. These all came now after Modi government, but he started doing at that time because women were suffering in the this fuel chulhas and cooking food around 4 to 5 hours. So blindness was there. Women were suffering from heart disease or from lungs disease. And then he developed this electric chulhas so that women can cook and they can live better life. This is Anil Rajvanshi. You can see his website. He had worked a lot in the village. So there are n number of examples, but try to understand what is social in this innovation. Why can't others are doing? Why these few people are doing, and many few people are known in the system? I don't know whether you have heard about Santosh Chaubey or you have heard about Anil Rajvanshi, but they are changing lives. They're changing many lives, and they have left their life, which they were living in a very good style and status, but they left this thing and they started living in the village. Another example of social innovation is Abhay. Can we change the slide, please? So, as a responsive society, we should adopt change, be alert and flexible, empower innovator, experiment and learn, and value resourcefulness, encourage in collaboration. This all is very theoretical, but we should follow at least some or more thing. So how we can be a practical instead of following so many theory and so many theoretical concept, but what is literally is for working society, what you need to work, what you need to know. If you really want to learn something, you should read about Abhay Bhang and Rani Bhang. You should read about Arvind Eye Care. So next slide, please. So what Abhay Bhang and Rani Bhang has done, they see the social challenge as an opportunity, as economic and social opportunity. What was the social challenge? They both of them, they came from after studying medical MD, MBBS and MD. They came India and they went to this Gadcholi village, and they see there are lots of health problem in that village, and mothers are dying after delivery, and prenatal health problem was there. And they, of course, government has many schemes, but these schemes are up to the few people, up to the panchayat, and it was not reaching to the normal people. So these two people, Abhay Bhang, these two are husband and wife. They started working in this Gadcholi village, and started taking care. They started working for the poor. They went even in the full rainy season. They used to they narrate their stories in the rainy season when the mothers they are dying because of for the delivery and no one is there for the proper care. So these people have started working and they change the village. They bring the society. They bring the social change. What Professor yesterday Professor Shukla has talked about, Madhukar Shukla ji has talked about change maker, how they create change not only in the society, but they create change in the system. So they brought policy change in the healthcare. These two brought policy change in the system. That is social innovation from the grassroots to the policy. They worked in the grassroots, the policy for the healthcare sector. And that is the social innovation when nobody is caring about while the women are delivering or the prenatal condition or the postnatal condition. There was a high rate of malnutrition and the death rate, but after their intervention, it has changed tremendously. So that is, next slide, please. So that is what is novel solution to the social problem that is more effective. Next slide, please. So I will take another example of Akshay Patra Foundation. What they did, everyone knows the story, what they did. It happens when one of the devotee of Akshay Patra, not one of the, in fact, very initially founder of Akshay Patra. Founder means one devotee, and what he saw that during some function, few child were eating the waste food. The child were eating the waste food which were thrown out of the window. Then he was thinking that if this is the condition of our country, this is the condition of our student, how they will live, how they will read, how will create the nation. So then when he saw the undernourishment, they are not going to classroom, they are not studying, then this idea of feeding the children, Akshay Patra concept, he conceived this concept to get rid of classroom hunger. Because why students are not going to classroom? Because of hunger. So he said that I will do work that is classroom hunger. That is, again, I will talk about needless pain. Is it possible to work on the hunger by taking help from others, well-to-do society? This was a needless problem which can be solved by public-private partnership. So he did public-private partnership. He partnered with the government. He partnered with the civil society. He partnered with the others, and he addressed this this Akshay Patra, this ISKCON community. They started working this thing and address malnutrition in the society. Support the right to educate of the children. So right to educate, how it is possible if they are hungry? So right to educate is there. Government has made the policy that everyone should attend the class. But if they are hungry, how can they attend the class? So with the government scheme of feeding the children, lunch meal to the children, they associated with the government, they associated with other NGOs, and they began serving to school meal. It started with the 1,500 children. And they provide midday meal in the children who have passion to learn. Those who want to learn, they should get food. It's not that they should get food, education, but not food. Without, so हमारे हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि भूखे भजन न होए गोपाला. अगर हम भूखे हैं, if we are hungry, we cannot chant, because so we cannot read if I am hungry. So that is the thing we say. So what is the concept is no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. Maybe they are deprived because of other reason. But what is the mission of Akshaya Patra? That they should not be deprived because of hunger. So here is the social innovation. What is the social? What is the idea? The children are not getting education because of hunger. So hunger is the social problem. Of course, it is an economic problem. Of course, it is a problem of policy. Of course, it is a problem of many other culture or society or structure that 1% is very rich or other 99% are poor. There are many problems. So see, these are of course, social problem or economic problem. But how to address this problem? How to see the needless pain? Next, please. So one thing is how to increase the awareness of social problem. How to increase the attendance. That was they were thinking. How to increase the concentration. How to improve socialization and how to reduce malnutrition. This was the impact. So planning with the proper planning process, then conceptualizing and then implementation. Next, please. So what is value for society? Value for what other things, corporate culture, they thought that the private benefit and the private profit, but the social innovation is work for the value for society. Next, please. Value for society. Next, yeah. So fostering innovation to add value to society. Quantum leap, a big step forward. So quantum leap, just suddenly think about feeding 1,500 students and then feeding 1,500 to thousands of student feeding. That is a kind of leap, a big step forward. That is a kind of quantum jump. That is a point of shifting from one orbit to other orbit. That is a kind of work. Next, please. So the thing is how you take prompt inspiration and then you diagnose. Prompt inspiration was that the children were taking food, collecting food, which was thrown for the animals. So that was the inspiration. And immediately what was the diagnosis? That no one should behind because of hunger. No one should deprived because of hunger. So that was the idea, that was the diagnosis, and proposal and idea came, and then they made prototype and they did piloting by 1,500 students. Then they did partnership with the NGO, they did partnership, the private partnership, public partnership. And because of that model can be sustained. Because of this it is sustaining. And then they started scaling and diffusing, and then it is systemic change in the society that there should not be hunger and there should not be deprivation of the society because of this problem. So scaling, sustaining this business model or sustaining this model of removing hunger because of public-private partnership, that is collaboration, that is co-working with, so midday meal is not possible if government is not helping. So, in private, not in private, but in government school, teachers are also involved in this distribution of food. Sometimes food is distributed in the raw form, but most of the time, this Akshaya Patra, they distribute money, food, and this is very much standardized. The food made by Akshaya Patra kitchen is fully standardized. So, and of course, they follow that the taste of the state. When they tried that the idli sambar and dosa is not working in North India, first they thought that idli sambar and dosa will work. So they observed that idli sambar dosa is not working in North India. Students are not eating and they are leaving and they are not coming in the school. And then they studied. So then they saw that that was a prototype, that was a pilot. They saw that now in North India, we have to serve the same meal which they prefer. In South India, they serve the same meal which they prefer. So that is the model for sustaining, scaling, and diffusing. And that is a systemic change in the society what they observed, that the attendance started increasing, the attendance health started becoming better, result becoming better, society, even now parents started sending kids to the school. And that's how systemic change means systematically, gradually, the society starts changing. So now I have many examples. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next, please. Next. Next, please. Keep on doing. I will stop where I want. Yes. That's last. No. Go back. Yes. So this is the model, which is mainly I conceptualize this model after understanding this subject and reading a lot and understanding various business model, how these social entrepreneurs, they change the society, how they innovate. So first thing is, the first orbit is when they see the problem. And they see the problem and they see the society is in a stable form. Although problem is there, although people were shivering, although students are not going to school, they are in hunger, but the society is stable. They think that this is my style, or this is my fate, or this is my luck. I have to live in this way. So this is the initial stage. And in this stage, when social entrepreneur, they see the society. Others are also looking at the society, but how social entrepreneur, they see the opportunity in the society, and they see how they can create, how they can develop social value proposition to challenge the stable state of equilibrium. Do you understand stable state of equilibrium? For example, in slums, no one is studying, no one is going to school, but everyone is happy. It's okay. It's my fate. It is my luck that I don't have money. I cannot go. My parents cannot afford. But if you see the change maker, they see there is opportunity. They will create social value, and they challenge this social stable state of situation, and they start thinking what to do. And then they start developing a new solution by testing, the refining and scaling. So how this Akshay Patra, or if I would talk about Chetna Gala Sinha, Mandesi Bank, first she identified that in the system there is a problem, that no one is taking women serious about the saving money or about giving them loan. And so this is unstable. Women want to save money, but they are not getting money from the bank. So then she started working, they started collecting women, she started talking to them, she started motivating to them. Then she taught them how to calculate money, how to add addition and deletion, and then how to talk bankers and all. And after teaching that, she sent a group of women in the bank and said that go and talk to manager. The manager said that you cannot calculate, and I cannot entertain you because of 10 or 100 rupees. I do not want to leave my customer, those who are in crores. So they give the challenge to the women, the group of women, and then Chetna, she started teaching women to all this accounting and the banking. The next time the group of women went to the bank manager, and they challenges that I can calculate better and faster than your employee or banking managers. And when they challenged the manager and they won this challenge, then these bankers started entertaining the women. But another challenge what she did is, okay, if we are not entertaining the women, group of women, now I will create my own bank. So see, this equilibrium, stable but unjust equilibrium, they develop a new solution by testing, refining and scaling. There is a transition period, And with the transition period, something happens, something works, something doesn't work, and then transformation happens, then change happens. Is it difficult initially because of it is a concept selling. For social entrepreneur, first you have to sell the concept. So initially you will find, change maker will find difficult. People will say that you are mad, as it happens with Mruguttam. But you see the transformational change, new equilibrium created which benefit across the society. They create new equilibrium. So now you take any example, whether it is a hunger or whether it is a health care or whether it is anything else, from unjust to justable society is possible because of social innovation. So here, it's not only important to create a structure or innovation. In all the cases, you will see it was a mindset. It was some driver. It was some driver of change, which has changed the society, which brought society together, which worked together, either with the trust or with the network or with the passion. But these are intangible things which worked in the many examples. When you stretch your capacity, I will say, or you will say, I cannot work for the community, or I am tired, or I am not healthy, or I don't have money, because we don't want to stretch our capacity. But when we stretch our capacity and we eliminate that barriers, these are not the barrier, these are the opportunity. So when we eliminate this barrier, then only, of course, we can transform the policy, we can transform the structure, we can transform any social problem or the environmental problem or other. And the last example I will talk about, that is the very well known Arvind Eye Care. Arvind Eye Care is the example which is taken all over the world, not only for the surgery. Anyone can tell me why Arvind Eye Care is taken for examples? Hello.
Ma'am, Arvind Eye Care provides, like, they have a wonderful model whereby they see nobody missed out on eye care surgery.
Okay.
And like some people, they pay the full fees for the surgery, and they cross-subsidized the surgery for other people, so that nobody, even from the lower strata, they didn't miss out on that.
Okay, so that is discriminational price. So when you charge more from well-to-do, and that money should be used those who cannot afford.
Right.
Right. So this is an example of social innovation. They have not innovated any product.
As you rightly say, since surgery was already there,
yes.
But what happens is they find out that there are people who are missing out on medical services, especially in the field of eye care. So
yes.
they derived a business model which is sustainable and whereby they are catering to all the people in the society.
Yes. So that is a needless blindness.
Madam, actually, Arvind Care is known for the lowest prices. The pricing is affordable.
Yeah,
that is why it is.
So pricing.
They do it in pricing, and large number of people have been operated upon for eye care, and at a good quality.
Yes.
And the prices are kept at the bottom.
So what
this is why it is popular.
What he did,
affordability with providing
so see,
care for everybody. For all.
In the age of 56, after retiring, he thought that he will do something for the society. So what to do? Then he said, so this is very, very surprising that he said, I will remove blindness. I will remove blindness. So it's a thing, a big vision. Removing the blindness from India or from the world in the age of 56 or 58, see the vision and how he started with the 11 bed, and now the Arvind Eye Care system and structure is all over the world. I think 27 or more than, I'm not sure about the numbers, but it is all over the world. So you can check in the website how many numbers, but yes, I know it is there in all over the world. And why Arvind Care example is taken for social innovation, for social enterprise, and for the scaling. You know, you take all the example, you will find Arvind Eye Care. Maybe pricing, maybe structure, maybe
I would like
system.
to share something.
Yeah, madam, I will give you time. I will give you time. So see, either a system, what system he has adopted, that generally 7 operation in a day in other hospital. In Arvind Eye Care, 1500 operation in a day. Others are, so everything is standardized in Arvind Eye Care. Everything is standardized. Either is a nurse, or the operation, or is a licensing, or it's a medicine. Everything is standardized. So they reduced time for operation. Number 2, they standardize the process. Number 3, they standardize the pricing, how society will be served. So everything, and how they took this inspiration of standardization. I think you all must be knowing, if not that he has taken example from McDonald's. So how a standardized process can be possible. So he requested his staff that standardize the process, so that we can do mass, we can serve the mass. So blindness, if you serve the mass, so you see the economy of scale. So it's not that they are running in a loss, they are running in a profit, they are making profit, but they know economy of scale. So they're working in the economy of scale, they are working in the social sector, they are they are also taking care of all the aspect of a triple bottom line. So that is economy of scale they are working on. So if you talk about pricing strategy, Arvind Eye Care is there. If you talk about managing human resource, so doctors, even a minute is not wasted by the doctor. So from morning to before lunch, they do surgery, and after 2, they do research work. That is the Arvind Eye Care. Food is standardized. When they do operation, simultaneously they do operation for the 4 patients. So 2 nurses, 2 doctors, they do operation. So see how they standardized and how they're using manpower for removing the blindness, which is needless blindness. And now then they saw that the lens which they are using, the lens, when they import, it is very, very costly. So they started making lens also. So everything is standardized again. They started making lens, so that again it is subsidized. Again, they are able to reduce more blindness and serve to society. That is all about social innovation. Next slide, please. So I will
I'll just take a minute to share something on this context.
Yes.
You know what? There are 2-point thing, for Arvind Eye Care, the innovation was that there is no doctor in the bus. The bus goes to the remote villages and it connects to the OT, the doctor, the experts. So every corner can be reached and the doctor is sitting in one point. That was the best innovation, so that they could reach out to each patient and the patient is at their point. And second thing, their nurses, their surgeons, they actually pick up very early. From 9th standard onward, they pick up children whom they train accordingly. So these are the 2 basic innovation. They don't take the past, the graduate MBBS or the graduates, they start training very early. These are the 2 main innovations they have done. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So now I will talk few things and then we'll end the session. Actually, I planned I will do now, but there were so many things to discuss with all of you. Discover one thing, what I am giving you, you can write it down. Today, just think about, discover your ideal self, discover your inner self, discover your ideal or inner self, and create your own learning agenda, or you create your agenda and experiment with the practice something new, and identify any opportunity, some opportunity with reference of sustainable development goal. Take any sustainable development goal, whichever you like. Take any company, whichever you like, based on SDG. Make a pictorial presentation, and tomorrow morning in your DP, present your that one-pager pictorial presentation of that whatever you design. So use design thinking, use whatever creative thinking, select one SDG, whichever you like, select one company following that SDG, whichever you like, and make what innovation they did, which social problem they targeted. Use lesser word, less word, present in picture, may it be, and reimagine something, reimagine business model. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Am I clear? So tomorrow morning,
Yes, madam.
tomorrow morning, when we enter, put that pictorial presentation which you will make in your DP. We will take photograph of all the presentation. It's a one pager. Just make one page of your liking, and so it should reflect your inner self, what you want, how you want to, what you want to contribute, how you want to contribute, which, and any innovation which you can think about. That is up to you. Should I expect that from you?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Any question now? I'm done, although I have a lot to, I
ma'am,
can speak.
based on your interaction with various social entrepreneurs, can you tell me like what are the major drivers which guide them by coming out with these social enterprises, ma'am?
Major drivers, see, one thing is always is a passion. When your passion become your driver, see, everyone see the problem. I'm sitting in front of Powai Lake, and it is gradually becoming smaller and smaller. Just where I'm sitting in front of me is a beautiful Powai Lake. And, you know, I look at this Powai Lake, and every day when I go for a walk, I think that this is gradually decreasing, and no one is taking care, no one is writing to government or anyone. So few women started working in this, to work in this Powai Lake, to conserve this Powai Lake. So, you know, what is the driver? Someone say, I don't have time, I am busy, or, but if you have passion and if you have attachment, this lake should be saved. Why we are not looking at this this point of time? If we'll not work in this now, it will again reduce, and our nature will certainly is going to harm us. So if you have a passion, number one is certainly passion. Number two, if you want to do something for the society, you are change maker and you don't want profit. So it's not only for the names. कुछ लोग होते हैं बस फोटो खिंचाने के लिए, वरना जो वो हुआ है ना अभी सफाई अभियान, just take jhadu and click photo and just display. So university and school, they do some cleaning mission and they click photo. So these people, they don't click photo. They are there for their mission. They want to change the society. And they, everyone says, see, this is for giving back to society, but I would say no, they are change maker. They are passionate, and they are restless people. Restless होता है किसी को देख के. अगर चेतना गला सिंह को restlessness feeling हुई, I feel restlessness when students are not going to school and they are hungry. I feel restlessness when this lake is getting smaller, and their flowers are, even the birds are becoming less visitor. Otherwise, in IIT, frequent, very rare words are there, but gradually this is decreasing. So I feel restlessness. So I wrote 2-3 letters, but yes, I'm not that restless. Otherwise, I could have done something. The same thing, I have done some work for women empowerment, few projects I have done, but yes, I am not, my strategy is not that that level I could have done really, which can mark some change in the society. So you should be very, very passionate.
Yeah, can I just suggest something? Actually, I've stayed in Mumbai for 15 years.
Okay.
Now, Powai Lake is just in the background of IIT Bombay. Now,
Yes.
since IIT Bombay, they also have an innovation center. We had a session earlier, and there is a KV also over there. So those students can be channelized for this cause, actually, ma'am.
Yeah, work is going on. Yes, work is going on. Students are working, but in not that strategy or not that intention. वो उतना ज्यादा होना चाहिए कि काम आपके अंदर वो पैशन होना चाहिए काम करने के लिए, फिर पैसा भी आ जाता है, डोनेशन भी आ जाता है, एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल. So आपके अंदर ड्राइव है, then you'll collect the resources, you should have a plan, strategy. So everything has been discussed. That's why I am talking only the social innovation. So because others have discussed about all these things, so I have not taken this strategy part or planning part or everything. Yes, anything else?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks. So I hope.
I guess no more questions.
I hope that at least some concept of social innovation has been clear, and you would be able to make a one-pager design or pictorial presentation of social innovation, and you can display tomorrow morning in your DP.